3 hours of the debut of the 24th season of The Bachelor on ABC. Returns tonight at 8 Eastern Time. The Bachelor Peter Weber is now in the pilot seat, if you will. And the host is Chris Harrison here on The Rich Eisen Show. How are you, sir?
Good to see you, man. Happy New Year.
Happy New Year to you, too. When is the date by which you can't say Happy New Year?
January 15th, 5:30 p.m. No,
just like right in the middle of the month.
That's understood, right? Yeah,
right
no,
in the middle of the month.
You're a jerk if like January 16th, you're like, hey, Happy New Year. That's way too long.
Right.
But up until then, we're fine.
We're fine. So I've got another week.
Yeah.
To do that. What if I see you in a week? We've already taken care of it, though, right?
No, now we've already done this. Yeah, we got to move on.
Then it's awkward.
You only get one as well.
Right.
So one up until January 15th, and then you got to move on.
Right. So you're the perfect person to ask.
How do people not know these rules?
You know what? Because it's kind of like baseball. There's unwritten rules.
That's true.
This is the unwritten rules of how many times you could say Happy New Year.
Yeah, because if you do it again, I throw at you.
That's right. You know. Also, too, you're a diehard golf guy. You were talking to me in the commercial break about what went down in Kapalua last night.
Yeah, that was crazy last night.
I know. By which point? Because you play a lot of golf, probably with a lot of people you just get introduced to. By which point are you not allowed to ask somebody that you're just starting to play golf with that you've never met their name again? What? Like,
that's a great question.
By what?
It really is like the second hole. After the second hole, you've already spent
tee box, green, third tee box. Like where?
By the green of the second hole, you're pot committed. You cannot ask the guy their name again. Yeah, because you've warmed up, you've teed up, you've played about 30, 45 minutes together. You've had a few probably intimate conversations about family, friends, that kind of stuff. You can't go back and be like,
what's your name again? I know you can't do it.
And then you just got to hope you're in a foursome where someone goes, "Hey, Rich, good shot." It's Rich.
That's right. Rich, write it down
on the scorecard.
Exactly. I've been there and I've done that. But even if
that's a great question.
Hey man, I've always had these questions. Like, but to me, it's the third tee box. But you always have to still acquire the names of everybody anyway. Because one time I was playing golf. This way back when I was in ESPN. I got hooked up with a couple. It was me and a buddy, and we got hooked up with a married couple whose names just escaped me on the sixth hole.
Oh, no.
When I missed like a 3-foot putt because I was too short, I said, "Damn, hit it, Sally." And then she goes, "What? Say that again?"
Wow.
Her name was Sally.
Her name happened to be Sally. Wow. And then
she goes, "What? Say that again." I'm like, "Oh, not you."
You played it off. You played it off like you knew.
Oh, yeah. I'm like, "No, yeah, you hit it, Sally. You're up first."
Yeah.
The tee box is yours because I just missed this putt. That literally did happen to me.
That's so good.
Chris Harrison here on the Rich Eisen Show. Okay, so you've seen a ton of awkward, long breakups in your day. Where does Jason Garrett and the Cowboys rank for you?
That would have been, it's up there.
Week.
It's up there. In the 18-year history of me seeing love and breakup, it would have been, and a tough one because, look, he's a good guy.
He sure is.
And by the way, a good ball coach and an NFL quality coach. It's just one of those things, and you've been in, whether it's TV, sports, no matter what, there is a point in time when you just got to cut and you got to make a change. And that, when you have the horses, and clearly they do have the horses, you can't tell me they don't have as good of players as Minnesota or Tennessee that are now deep into the playoffs.
Correct.
So they have the stars, they have the power, they have the line, they got it all. What's left? Well, it's the organization. It's the coach. You got to make a change. And I hate to say that because, we all are so glib about coaching changes and all that. These are still people's lives.
Yes.
Jason Garrett has his life set up in Dallas.
He's such a good dude.
And he's a great guy.
Is.
And he's a good coach. And obviously he'll probably be picked up somewhere. But Jerry had to make a change. As loyal as Jerry Jones is, he had to turn this thing around.
Well, now I feel bad for being glib in the way that I set up the question. But all that now that we're got that out of the way, it was weird last week, and the fact that they never officially said that we're done here.
Well, and aren't there? And look, the NFL standards. Like once you announce it, aren't there steps you have to officially take? And so I think like not doing it just allows them to.
But they still did interview other coaches, including Marvin Lewis, and they are the first team to name a new coach, even after all of that last week.
I would love to eventually talk to them and how well Mike McCarthy must have sold them in the room, because there was the interview that apparently was supposed to go just the afternoon, evening. He ends up spending the night.
Yes, he did.
Allegedly at Jerry's house.
Does he have a windmill?
Yeah, apparently they went. I mean, night one, basically, wrong? Jerry and Mike McCarthy went to the fantasy suite. 4 times later, They're engaged. So
wait a minute.
Mike McCarthy's a closer, is what I'm saying. He performed. So apparently that must have been one hell of an interview, and he had the right things to say.
Right.
He was there for the right reasons.
He stayed overnight.
Yeah.
That's the report from Schefter.
Basically, that would be like tonight.
Yes.
Peter's in the driveway.
Yes.
Women show up, and he just walks off with one of them. They spend the night together, and game over tomorrow.
But what would happen to the rest of the season of The Bachelor?
Makes for really bad television.
That's what I'm saying. We got to fill out some more weeks to go here.
Right. So you're saying Jerry should have really stretched this out.
Well, you know what? No, you still have to. There is no like Senior Bowl to get ready for The Bachelor. So you got to like actually get your ducks in a row.
Someone was asking my opinion, and I've heard a lot of people talking this morning about this. About what about Urban Meyer? What about Lincoln Riley? And this happens to the Bachelor and Bachelorettes. Often they're looking for the sexy pick.
Okay.
The guy, the bad boy, the guy they can change. Ask Hannah from last season.
Yes.
What do you get when you get the guitar playing bad boy? Not great. It doesn't always have to be sexy. Safe, solid,
right.
Really successful, not such a bad thing.
Right.
Mike McCarthy is safe, solid, successful, and he's also a change.
He's the Peter Weber of this equation?
He's the Peter Weber of this equation. He's the Ben Higgins, Peter Weber, and that works out for you.
I love, by the way, this is
Lincoln Riley's the guy with the guitar.
That's right. We don't need that.
Yeah, sure, it's fun, but is it going to work out in the end?
That's your school too, right?
I do like. No, look, he would have been.
Wow, that would have been the combination of your two
bringing
teams.
OU and the Cowboys together. We did that once with Barry Switzer. It worked out for a second, for a hot minute.
He was the Peter Weber and the bad boy at the same time.
And then he jumped the fence and ran away. But no, I like the McCarthy pick, and I think, and from what I have also understood, allegedly he does not have to keep anybody, so he can come in and bring in his own people.
Yeah,
and he's gonna have free reign, which you have to have if you're going to turn this thing around.
Yeah, I mean that's the thing, because in terms of the idea of Jerry Jones deciding I'm going to bring in a new general manager, I've been saying for weeks here that's just not the way he wants to do it. Right. I mean, he has everything. The guy literally has everything that he wants, except for that one more trophy in the case. And the way that he wants to do it, he wants to do it with his son, Steven, and he wants to do it the way that he wants to do it. In the same way that if you have a fantasy football team, you're not farming out the picks and the week-to-week stuff to just some other person, because that's the way you're supposed to win.
And the pressure's on Jerry, too, because time's ticking. I mean, he's not getting any younger either. And so is this his last head coaching pick? Right. And, his last run, as you said, with his family. Right. With Charlotte, with Steven, with all the kids there. Yeah, this is kind of a big step for him. And so obviously McCarthy must have really wooed him in the room.
We'll see how it works out. Obviously, coming up in the 2020 season, Chris Harrison here on the Rich Eisen show. So when you do meet Peter again for the first time after what happened to him, do you have like a heart-to-heart guy talk, like away from the cameras and stuff like that before you start rolling?
Yeah, we spent some time. This is the first odd season where we have a guy or a girl that actually grew up. He's a neighbor of mine. And
Get out of here.
He literally is. His parents' house is a half a mile from my house. And so he grew up, he went to high school where my kids now go to high school. He grew up in the shadow of the Bachelor mansion. He used to drive by it, thousands of times going to and from the beach. So it's really interesting. He's been a fan of this show and watching it happen in his lifetime, in his real life. And so it's been really interesting to go through it with him. But yeah, we had some heart-to-hearts of how he's going to go through this, what it's going to be like. And even throughout, we became really good friends, and he had a tough time. He has a tough time with making really tough decisions and breaking people's hearts and being the mean guy.
Right.
And he kind of kicked the can down the road a couple of times. And that just, can exacerbate a situation of like, you got to make some decisions here.
Right. And then, obviously what happened to him last year, for those who don't know.
Well, I can tell you, Hannah comes back tonight.
Okay.
But she doesn't just come back once.
Well, what are we doing to Peter? What are we doing here, man?
When you see, not the first is a very good, emotional, sweet scene.
Isn't she broke the guy's heart?
Yeah, but wait till she comes back later in the show tonight. It is unlike kind of any conversation I've ever seen. The tension
between the two of them?
Yeah.
Is the windmill anywhere in the picture?
It is.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
Wow.
For those who don't know, I mean, you've been living under a rock. Peter, an airline pilot, and Hannah went into the windmill, and
they had sex 4 times.
I was gonna say, you put down the landing gear,
right?
Tray table in the upright position.
Sure.
What is the talk like with you and your kids when you're having the talk? Is this?
Well, my kids are 11, 8, and 6. You tell me. I know it's Southern California, but I think it's a little too early for that.
You're 2 years away. Yeah, it happens early, man. You gotta, yeah, you better.
Well, let me tell you about The Pilot and the Windmill.
Yeah,
it's a pop-up book.
Oh, wow.
I've got to be there for this talk. A lot of metaphors. You're like, what the hell is Dad talking about?
Zan, I would talk to you, but here's the Bachelor's Chris Harrison. Chris, come on out.
You know what? That is something I should offer. I will come to your house.
Is that on ChrisHarrisonOfficial.com?
That is my website where you can. Now I'm going to add that. I will officiate weddings. I do videos and all that. But now also offered on the website, I will come have the talk with your kids. That's actually a great service.
That is a great
It really would be. Because I have 2 children. My son and my daughter, they're 18 and 16, so we are well past those talks. They're now talking to me and teaching me things. But I felt like I kind of crushed it on the talk.
Okay.
Yeah.
You did.
Yeah. Very different. And this might be a double standard, sexist, whatever. The talks were very different from my son and my daughter.
Okay.
Because the responsibilities are a little different.
Of course they are.
Yeah.
But when you crushed it, I mean, like, you walk away going, I'm a pretty damn good dad.
I patted myself on the back. Like, I did that. That was... And the best part is, I'll never forget when you sit down, because it's really awkward. It's just as awkward for you as it is the kids. And, and you're just like, told my son, I was like, Josh, like, this is happening. So just sit there, and this is going to happen. This is going to be over. As we're ripping a Band-Aid off, we're going to get through this. This is going to get weird.
Oh man! So again, you do have
I do, yeah. Chris Harrison Official. In all seriousness, I started a website as a way to kind of connect with Bachelor Nation. I've had people ask me for years, will you officiate my wedding? Will you help me with a proposal? Will you, all this stuff? And I've never really had a way to really, honestly offer it to the masses. And so, for better or for worse, I have. And now I'm actually in the process now, me and the team, of setting up, doing my first weddings for Bachelor Nation.
Because that's where you could not attend the Rams-Cowboys game last year in the playoffs.
Because Ari
Leindyke
was getting married.
And you officiated.
Yeah. And this year, I missed the Cowboys playoff game.
Well, no. You didn't miss it.
Oh, that's true. In all fairness, I didn't miss it. They did.
It's not
the Mike McCarthy.
It's not you. It's them.
It's not me. I told you though, I really felt good this weekend because. And I hate to say this, but I didn't have to watch the Cowboys lose in week 1 because, look, we were leaking oil. The wheels were coming off.
Right.
Did we really want to go into the playoffs?
Sometimes you don't want your team to make it, even when they could and maybe could reverse things, because you're saving yourself the heartbreak.
This is that relationship that it's over, but you're heading into the holidays, and you can't break up before Christmas and New Year's, and so you kind of you're still just going through the motions. We just needed to rip that old Band-Aid. Yeah, move on.
The analogies between the Cowboys and the NFL in the playoffs and the Bachelor. There's so many of them. Yeah. Do you have any questions for Chris? Because I know you just are going to go down this wormhole.
Phone lines are open.
He doesn't have a kid yet. His kid's coming. His kid's coming, by the way. Brockman's 6 weeks away.
I'm really excited for tonight. I'm excited to see Peter and how his mindset heading into this season. And so I'm just excited for the 3 hours of the season. Yeah, he's a great dude.
I went flying with him.
Okay.
We went on a little golf adventure.
Okay.
And this is the great thing about having a pilot. We were flying down to our friends at Callaway, actually.
There you go.
And Peter said, well, can I just fly us? Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, no 405? Are you kidding me?
And so we got in a plane, a much smaller plane than I had heard we were getting into. We were getting in a twin engine, a twin prop.
Oh,
Turns out that was in the shop, and so we got in a single prop. And I mean, it was like we were sitting in this chair together. It was tight, but very competent. Very
good.
Very good.
All right.
Yeah.
So what's he better at? Is it flying or the windmill?
Apparently to Hannah, the windmill. By the way, I apologize to your audience.
I'm asking the questions.
The cockpit references, the aviation references, the windmill references, know we're wearing them out tonight.
Okay.
You're getting them.
Well, it's 3 hours.
Yeah, you're getting them tonight.
There's 3
hours. There
are
a lot.
ChrisHarrisonOfficial.com, at Chris B. Harrison on Twitter and Instagram. What was the best part of the Golden Globes night last night? Let's dive in with you.
Not trying to get there. Obviously, security heightened because of things going on apparently internationally in our country, and so it was a nightmare getting in. But it was I thought it was a great night. It was a great night. The parties are always good. The great thing about the Globes is it starts as a cocktail party, and then all the parties are at the Beverly Hilton. Now, if you don't know the layout,
it's all right there.
When you go to the Oscars or whatever, it's all over Hollywood from here to San Diego, and so it's a mess trying to get to stuff. But everybody is in the same lobby last night, so you're walking from party to party, and you're like, oh, there's Charlize, and oh, there's Brad Pitt, and everyone's just kind of walking around, and it's it's a great vibe.
See, now the only analogy I could make is with the sports Emmys. The Tom isn't Hanks, it's Brenneman. But
that's you're at least going to go Brady.
But no, he's not Brady.
No, he's not there.
No. But where it used to be, they used to have it in a hotel in Times Square, and there were open bars all over the place, and it was great. It was awesome. And you would see people, from previous years and friends and colleagues, and you'd get together. Nobody paid attention to what the hell was going on the stage. So they now hold it in an auditorium with no drinks, no food, and it's just the absolute pits.
Yeah. Well, and even, if you pay attention last night, Ricky Gervais, when he comes on and he's hosted, nobody's listening. Everyone's still
drinking,
up.
Right.
Everyone's still up
drinking. Is that why he was so angry? Is that why he was so...
Man, I don't know if that style of hosting is holding up anymore. Obviously, it was his last time, and he went in to burn Rome down. But yeah, the I hate everybody and I don't care mentality of hosting is not a thing anymore. That doesn't hold up.
We need to band together as hosts of anything. Chris, okay? I host what I host. You host what you host. All of the hosts need to get together because right now, award shows are being hostless.
Yeah.
Last night's award show was by a host who flat out said, I don't care.
We
can't have that.
We need a hashtag.
Which is what hosts are people too?
Yeah,
or what? Okay.
Something like that. We need a movement.
Okay.
Hosts are people too, 2020, something. We need something that will start a movement.
We got
to
band together, Chris.
We have to.
All right.
Get Probst and Bergeron on the line.
Yeah, that's
or
right.
Seacrest.
All of us.
You say, Dan Patrick, now.
Yes. Yes. We all have to band together.
Yeah.
And make sure that hosts are...
We're still people too.
We are.
Yeah.
At, again, Chris B. Harrison on Twitter and Instagram. Can't wait for The Bachelor tonight. Love when you come in here.
Always a pleasure.
Always a pleasure, too. You got it.
Happy New Year.
Same to I can't wait to say that to you next week. I still have time, 1 week from today. 24th season of The Bachelor, 3 hours tonight, 8 Eastern Time, and ChrisHarrisonOfficial.com. Check out all that good stuff, including the soon-to-be added, he'll tell the birds and the bees to your children on your behalf. The talk, hashtag. Don't go anywhere. Hour number 3, Mike Pereira, the head of NFL officials from back of the day, now with Fox and your phone calls at 844-204-RICH.
For more of The Rich Eisen Show, tune to Audience Channel 239 on DirecTV for free on BR Live or download the Rich Eisen Show app.